So I wanted to do a quick little breakdown about how to position your outdoor enclosure in your backyard. Now you've probably seen my other videos. I got my other outdoor enclosures. Those are the desert style, and I got those more out in the open, straight direct sunlight for the bearded dragons. Now this is a tropical setting right here. You still do want it to get warm. Check it out. Right now we're at it says 43 and 60, 65 and 80. 65 degrees, 0.80, and then 43 humidity. Now we got us right there, the little misting system going off. Comes out over here, and that's gonna help with the humidity. Same thing with the water. Now our water, we have us a little heater in there, so it's supposed to heat up the water to tropical temperatures, 78 degrees. And then we got everything else over here in the background, the plants. We got a bunch of them that we want growing out. So what I don't want to do with the tropical setting is put it in full direct sunlight. You'll just burn out everything if your temperatures are too high. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm from Texas, so the temperatures get up there. You know what I mean? Like it gets up there, but it doesn't mean that you can't have a tropical setting. Now I've had my basilisks out all spring, all the way up until winter, and I had them out. And my green basilisks are still inside right now, because I had to work on upgrading all these enclosures. But you can keep them out, and the temperatures can still stay perfect for them to be able to live. You just don't put it in a full direct sunlight. Put it in a nice shaded area. Put it somewhere where the sunlight isn't going to hit it directly all the time, but the temperatures will still be maintained. With it being misted, watered, and also the humidity in here, the temperatures will go down about 7 to about 10 degrees, depending on how cold the water that you're using in the misting and how quickly you evaporate. Right now with the winds blowing and all that, it's going to throw out a lot of that humidity. That's why it's going to be at a low. But I'm going to show you guys how we can transfer this right here into something that could hold in the humidity and moisture a lot better. It's an all open screen, and it's bug proof. It's animal proof from getting in, like birds, cats, and smaller dogs. Bugs can't get out, which is perfect. Everything is enclosed pretty tightly and secure all the way across once you latch it all in and everything. And then I got my own drainer system out the bottom. You see how it's dripping that water? Yeah, I got the drainer system. Drops out all that water so that way it doesn't flood even when it rains and all that. It drains out very well. I've had it like this before. Like I said, I've done this before, having them outside, and it's worked perfectly. And sometimes it get to 110 out here, 115, and my reptiles still doing all right. They just have areas where they can go for coverage, and we have a system in here that will be able to cool it off. Now this is not from my green basilisk. This is actually, I made this one for my wife. We just don't know what reptiles going in here. Why don't you tell us, leave us in the comments what you think should be in here, what should go in here. But who knows, it could be a community tank. You could put a bunch of different things. For sure we're gonna have a lot of bugs in here. Make sure that they're breeding and all that kind of good stuff, because it's gonna be a lot harder for them to escape, so they can have their little babies in here. Its own food supply. Throw some earthworms, some super worms, some mealworms into the soil. You're gonna want them to be able to irrigate the soil for you. They get in there and they start burrowing tunnels and all that kind of good stuff. Isopods, springtails. If you can get some fish in there or some crabs that can eat away at the crickets that die in the water and all the other stuff that falls in, that'd be good too. This bowl size, I didn't really choose it for that big. As you can see, let's see if we can see him. A little beta right there. Yeah, he's occupying the spot. He's a little red, white, and blue stripe. He's real nice. We got this nice little fern that I'm hoping bushes out right here. Kind of closes up that tunnel where you can't see it too much. Let these vines grow off on the back wall. Got that other vine over there and got this one. So I got 3 different vines to take over this back wall right here. And then to also take over the rest of the wall over here around the water. So that way you can't see that water bin no more. We got to park those back there to be able to take care of it back there. And we got those nice little vines to take care of this area. Maybe the lower length of this screen, that wood, and also the plastic it can cover. Thinking also probably like somewhere in this area, up this rock wall, up to the top of that waterfall, and across onto the vines, so I can take out those fake plants. I'm a big advocate of trying to keep things as natural as possible. I think that sunlight, direct sunlight, is great for the reptiles. Nothing better than that, but you know, there are ways to get your reptiles outside. It saves you on costs and all that. I put in these pumps and all that, so of course it's got my own electrical costs on it, but it's still self-sufficient for what it needs to be, and it looks nice while I come out here and I smoke my cigarette and relax. But this is what it's looking like right now. We're gonna slowly start upgrading it, slowly start fixing things. So like, follow, share, subscribe, so that way you could take a look at what we got going on, what kind of things we can do, more projects that we got going on. We do all these custom backgrounds. My wife does the painting, so does my daughter. My daughter comes up with the ideas. I come up with just fixing them and making them, and make those ideas come to life. And this is one of the ones that we got. We fixed it out, and we got some other ones, of course. But like I said, the positioning of your reptile enclosure changes everything for your reptile outside. It's still possible and doable to do based off of the species that you got. We're going to show you some other ways to be able to take care of stuff like that. There are ways to still keep them out even during the winter times, if you got sheds or other stuff like that to be able to compensate for them to be able to get into. So I'm going to show you a couple of ideas and how to be able to accomplish that. And like I said, right now this is all an open thing. I'm going to show you a cool way that I take care of taking the humidity in here, and when it's way too hot, how to be able to lower down the temperatures even after it's been sprayed, once it hits like 110 and all the way up there. We're going to show you the ride of monitoring the temperatures. I'll tell you the temperatures of the day, show the temperatures of the day in our area, and then show you that it's very possible and doable. And there's some areas where it might not be too doable, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you can get some ideas of how to be able to keep your indoor enclosure looking as natural as possible, you know, all kinds of different things. Or even if you can't, how to save money to be able to make things like this possible. So just like, follow, share, and subscribe. But this one, I'm really liking the way it's coming out. And of course, since it's outside, this water bowl does evaporate pretty quickly, especially with the misting system and all that. I like that for more at nighttime. But right now I'm seeing how long it takes until the water is being fully drained while that mister's off, so that I know it's not going to be all the way empty by the time I get back. And then be able to show you all kinds of different things. But like I said, the positioning of your enclosure is a big thing. Tropical, more in areas where it's not in direct sun, and then you got the the more arid and the desert species where it really wouldn't matter. But you do want to provide covers of shade regardless. But come follow us on this journey of seeing how much this tank changes, how much we fix it, how we take care of it while it's outdoors, and how well the reptile does while it's out here. Now, reptiles do change while they're outdoors compared to while they're indoors, because their environment is a lot calmer. It's a lot more different. While outdoors, they're gonna hear birds, they're gonna hear your dogs, they're gonna hear all kinds of things that's constantly going on, that's gonna have them ready to find adaptive ways to not be seen or and be able to hunt comfortably until they get used to the environment. Now, my basilisks, they were at first, they were still out because they needed the sunlight, but they were more hidden, especially when I would show up to go and feed them. After some time had passed, they started calming down, relaxing and remembering, and then they got back into it. So whenever you're bringing your reptiles outside, always take full caution about how to be able to handle your reptile outside if it's an open enclosure like this where they can just jump out, you know what I mean? So I'm going to also show you other ways to be able to not allow that to happen. A lot of different ideas that I haven't seen in the reptile trade yet, but something that we're going to be able to make happen. And I'm not going to say anything yet because you're going to have to see for yourself. But I like the way that it's coming out though.